How are we both?
Great,
Good, thank you.
thanks.
Do you want to ask me how I am? All right, I'll tell you. I'm having a cup of Bovril, so all is well in the world.
Oh,
What's
that's
that face
gross.
for?
Bovril, that's gross.
It's like proper old school football drink, that isn't it?
That's me. Proper old school football. Jumpers for goalposts. There is nothing wrong. You like gravy on your Yorkshire puds, don't you?
I do.
That's all it is. Just a cup of gravy to warm you up.
But who drinks gravy like that? Like, it's a cup of tea.
I love gravy. Don't you put it like in the Yorkshire pudding? Save your Yorkshire pudding till last and just fill it up with gravy. Basically drink it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you, Jordan.
Nice.
Jordan's my only friend today. Anyway, you're very well. Jordan should be very well because you just won everything, didn't you? Congratulations.
Thank you.
No, you won both the league and PFA Player of the Month, Jordan Nobbs. Woo!
Thank you.
Nice, George. Great
Did we
job.
Did you
manifest
vote
it?
for me? Is that why I won?
Oh, yeah. And we manifested. I don't know if we're allowed to say we voted for you.
Triple taps.
Yeah. 25 votes from Caroline and Keats.
There's got to be a maximum. Is it like, on The Voice or X Factor, strictly, you can only vote 5 times?
Oh, didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Someone else is going to rival you for it, though, next month. Hayley Ladd. Did you see her subbed on for Palace and then scores a free kick to win it in the 86th minute?
Yeah.
Go
What a nice
on.
debut.
Nice.
She's a good signing. She's
Yeah,
a really
great
good
signing.
signing. Yeah, you don't like it when other teams in the league sign players like that.
Yeah, no, she's really good signing and will give them some defensive security, but also seems like she's scoring goals now. Go on, the lad.
Oh, is her nickname? Well, her nickname can only be lads, can't it? It's got to be that, lads.
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm glad we cleared that up. This is Pitch to Pod with WSL legends Nikita, middle name Medal, probably Paris, and Jordan. I bought a new house to house all my medals, knobs. Every week they bring you topics straight from the pitch at this podcast as we discuss the biggest talking points in the world of football, the WSL and beyond. This week it's pointless, not us. Time's ticking and all that glitters ain't gold. First up, what is the point, you two? What do Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool and London City have in common?
No.
They all got their drawers out, yeah. So I want to know, what's the point? Is it pointless?
Tell us about your game, Keats.
Yeah.
No. Well, to be honest, pretty much most of the 90 minutes was played in between the two 18s, not within there. So that tells you why it was a pointless, a 0-0 pointless game. So yeah, but actually I felt like both teams played some good football at times. It's just like you need to finish off your chances when you get them, and for sure for us it was like a good first game for us to have. Yeah, we want to take all the points, especially away against Liverpool, but I always think it's a tough fixture, Liverpool away, to be honest. First game back after Christmas under a new coach, new totally different methodology, playing style, so for us it was a good point to take forward. Would we want 3? Yeah, for sure.
There were no shots on target in the game.
Yeah. Told you, it was played within the 18s, like in between, not within.
Was it because no one like us was there going, shoot? Was that the problem?
No, to be fair to the Liverpool fans, they were screaming shoot at times, but
Liverpool are a good side though. Like, I do think they'll pick up. Like, they have players to do that. Their problem has been scoring goals, hasn't it? That's
Yeah.
been one of their main problems. I think if they get that, I could see them starting to take points off teams. Because like Keith said, they've never been an easy team to play. Liverpool, like, they've always been the team that have took some big points off the
Yeah.
top 3 in the last few years. So yeah, a point isn't a bad one against them.
no. And to be fair to Gareth Taylor, he's took some stick over the last few months, but he's got that team playing well. Like, some of the football they played, I was really surprised at. Like, he's got players that you wouldn't necessarily call ball playing players, playing good passes. Like, to be fair to him, you can see his style of play, his methodology coming through now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they take more points off teams.
Yeah, which is why you've got to worry if those teams around you down the bottom, because it's not going to take a lot. I mean, it will take a lot, as in hardly any of them are getting points at the moment, but it's not going to take many points to stay up, I think, this season. You've seen a few draws as well this season, Jordan. Newcastle, Durham, Palace, I mean, all tough. When you're in a position and it gets to like the 85th, or is it the 80th minute, both of you, when do you go, right, shut up shop, we're going to settle for the point?
I've not been in a game where we're settling for a point, to be fair, because our points are like, getting 1 or 3 is huge. That can be what wins you promotion at the end of the season. I'd say that we've definitely learned from, we got in a habit of scoring and conceding quite quickly after. And I think they're them crucial moments where you go, that is sometimes where you go, you pick and choose whether you jump and make the press or actually you just stay solid for 5 minutes and then wait for that, like, what's that saying, where it comes back into your favor again, that 10 minutes of you're on top and then you kind of go again. I think that's one big thing that we've learned, I think, in our previous games, but I don't think I've ever sat in for a draw. Maybe if you're playing a cup game and you're playing a City, a top, like we did a few weeks ago, like they're different scenarios because, the quality and, well, naturally we're in the league below.
But you also, like you said, they always say about momentum in a game, but also you're most vulnerable when you've either just scored or just conceded a goal. Like they're the times where most goals are scored within, because either the team that's just scored get overexcited and open up, or vice versa. So it's like they are tough moments, and especially when game after game you're kind of getting yourself ahead and then bang, teams are scoring on you within the next 5 minutes. It can be really frustrating, but it seems like you guys have turned the corner, although the ice must have got the game called off.
It did, I know. Yeah, we found out the day before the game, I think about 15 minutes before basically everyone else did. But I mean, there was no chance that game was going to be on. We've been on AstroTurf all week. It was snowing every single day. So yeah, it's so frustrating, especially because it's after Christmas. You just feel like you've not played a game for ages. But safety wise, I mean, you just can't play on a frozen pitch. It would just be terrible to even attempt that. I think a few years ago, remember there was a game in the WSL that was that Chelsea?
Yeah.
And
Chelsea,
it was,
Liverpool.
oh my, did it get cancelled halfway through? No. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just scary. It was scary watching that game. So I'm glad it did get called off and just do it another day. But yeah.
You hoping that you get some advance warning your Sunderland trip if it's off?
Oh, yeah, for sure, because that is a very long way to go. And also Sunderland's pitch, you'll be like, it's kind of like on a slope, so it'd be like you're skiing rather than playing football. But yeah, for sure, if it's obviously still snow and still ice and stuff up there, the pitch is not playable, I hope we get told. Well, we normally leave the day before, so I hope we get told like either very early in the
Now.
morning on the day before, or at
Yeah,
least
weekend off.
Thursday night, because we play on Saturday, 12 o'clock. So yeah.
Have you got snacks packed for the journey? And will you play little games?
To be honest, I am really not that prepared in terms of, I'll get on the train and be like, oh, I should have brought this. Oh, I wish I brought that. So I usually will play like Monopoly Deal maybe, or mostly sleep. Everyone knows I'm a bit of a sleeper. So yeah, as soon as I get on the train and it starts moving, I'll be like, lights out.
The other thing, you mentioned the slope. There's a team that I follow. Every time we'd go to Barnet, the old Underhill would have a slope on it, and we'd get a free kick at one end, and they'd always end up over the bar because like you couldn't. Do you have to adjust your range if you want to try and take the slope into account?
Well, I hope the slope isn't that isn't that obvious. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, this is a slope because like you have to like pretty much get down and like look at it. But I mean, the Barnet, if one side's up and one side's down, that's wild.
You're not like
Get the rollers out.
throwing the ropes up and pick. It's not that bad. No, when you're running up. Not quite that bad. But they like serious. I know you go and do those walks beforehand on the pitch. Are they actually quite important? Because half the time, just like everyone's going and having a little lark around. But if you've not played somewhere before, I guess it is quite. You got to go and assess it.
I'm not a walker out on the pitch, if I'm being
No,
honest.
I'm not.
But I do see why people do it if you haven't played in a certain stadium or you want to just get a feel for it. But I tend to just stay in the changing room and start getting ready or
People
chat.
normally do it to choose between like studs or molds, and I know that I'm going to be wearing molds, whatever the weather, whatever the pitch. So I don't even go out to see it.
Why wear molds? Why? That is really difficult to say. Why wear molds? You try.
Why wear molds?
All right, it's not that difficult.
I've always done it. I don't like the feeling of studs. I don't know. I feel like my feet feel like heavier, or maybe it could be a superstition now. I don't know, but yeah, if I slipped over all the time, I'd be like, right, time to change. But touch wood, that hasn't been a big issue.
Studs or molds, Kate? Studs or molds?
Studs. I'm a studs person, so I will wear studs until the ground's literally hard and dry, and then I'll be like, okay, it's time to change to molds. So I'm the opposite, short.
You're a total contradiction because you won't drink Bovril, which is old fashioned, but you will wear studs. Work that one out. Do you not even? Sorry, back to the original question, which was about 10 questions ago. Actually, before that, do you not even do the Wembley walk when you go to Wembley and take the photos? Do you not even do that one?
So when you usually play at Wembley, you usually go the day before. So you go as a team, so you take a picture, stuff like that. But when I walk into Wembley, no, I wouldn't go back out. And Wembley are quite fussy anyway. You can't even walk on the grass. It's like the grass is protected. A protected species would be like an hour and a half before the game. It's like, don't step on the grass. The timer's going to start going. You're like, what? What are you on about? It's this grass. But yeah, I guess so.
Would you do the Wembley walk, George?
I think I'm the same as Keats, but it was very strict there. You'd be stood literally on the white line waiting for them to blow a whistle, and then you could walk onto it. So that pitch was like that. But no, I think, no, just don't overthink it too much. I don't need to see the grass. I know obviously it's Wembley Stadium, it's the best place to play in, but no.
This is just one of the multiple reasons that I'm not a professional footballer. I'll be out there doing the old angels on the grass, taking a little bit home. I always take a bit of oh no, I should admit this. I always try and take a bit of the pitch home when I go to, somewhere.
You shouldn't admit
a
that.
bit of the grass.
They'll be keeping a big eye on you from now on.
It was only just like a little blade, but I don't know why, because I literally just throw it in my brown bin when I get home. So I don't know why I'd bring it home.
When I was younger, I've got a book that has like all my old Sunderland pictures in when I was like literally 8 years old, 7 years old. And on one of them, I've got grass from the Stadium of Light in it. And I've wrote like grass from Stadium of Light.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I grew out that obviously by the age of 9, but yeah, I did that. Yeah.
What's the weirdest memento either of you have got? The weirdest keepsake?
I don't think I have weird, but I've just kept all my shirts. I have so much memorabilia. I've kept like every shirt from youth level to senior level.
Do you know what? I have all of my accreditations from tournaments, the lanyard things. I've actually got most of them that I can remember. And like, the programs from when I was like, I seen one the other day, it was under 15s, England v France.
Oh, who was in that team?
Paige Williams, Aoife Mannion, Bianca Bragg, Frida Isi. Now you're testing me. They're just the ones I can see on the front of the on the picture. But there was, it was. We won the games 1-0 and 2-1.
I remember. Did you score?
I did. I remember after that game. I think I've told you this, George. After that game, we came in and we beaten France 2-1. Obviously, France to us are a great, thingy team, international team. So we're thinking we were all buzzing. And Hope Powell like comes into the changing room and was like, so how do you think yous have done? And we was all like smiling and buzzing, and we was like, yeah, good. And then she was like, not one of yous will make the first team. Everyone was like, what? What? We had all like aspirations to go to the very top, and she's like, not one of yous will make the first team in this moment in time. Thinking we're only 14, 15 anyway. Oh, I'll never forget that.
Were you like, that grass I've just picked up, I'm just going to throw that away?
Yeah. No,
That's
I
cool.
remember Hope being like the one coach that I not scared of, but had ultimate respect. Like if Hope walked in the room now, my mouth is zipped. Like I wouldn't say a thing, and everyone calls me like chatty, and no, wouldn't say anything. If she told me to run a mile, I'd run a mile.
Yeah, to be fair, one of the scary. I mean, I did actually like Hope Powell, and when I see her now, like it's so easy and like what a woman. She obviously was great with England, but one of the scariest moments I had back in the day, you had to go into a meeting with Hope Powell and some staff members and talk about why you deserved an England contract. And like you literally went down, I don't know, it was like 2.5, 3 hour drive. You just went in this room that was like an office, like just scare. You can imagine it, Keith, scary,
Yeah.
and sit there and talk and try and get an England contract. It was wild, like apps, because obviously back then they only did like 16 or 18 that they would hand out. And obviously it went off the way you played as well. And I was like so young then. I was maybe really early 20s. But wow, like what an experience. It was
What did you say?
insane.
Did you do like a PowerPoint presentation or?
No,
I don't think that's the case.
I wasn't that good
Yeah.
at school for that. God, honestly, God knows why I actually said like the scariest moment. I think on the same day it was me and Tony Duggan that went down. And yeah, I've never known anything like it. But you just didn't know any different. That's what happened.
Process.
Yeah, but
In my head, on that 3 hour drive down, I would be repeating the same sentence. I'd be in the mirror trying to, act
No.
convincing.
It's scary thinking about it now.
So you didn't have to do that, Keys?
No, I don't remember having to do that at all. I think the scariest part was remember 1-to-1s at the end of camps.
Yeah.
That was about the only like nerve-wracking part of camp that I ever experienced. And to be fair, most of mine were all right. So, yeah.
Do you think one thing, like if you meet them in real life now, but later in, do you still address her as like gaffer or coach? Does your manager ever become first name?
Oh.
Maybe you didn't.
I think
call her
Hope Powell was always first name anyway. Like she would
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like, it would be like Hope with all the respect that I've got for her, because she revolutionised women's football in England through the way she played, and helped, create a foundation that, now we're seeing the benefits of.
What was she like if you weren't going on or did either of you not have that? Like if you weren't included on a tournament, or because there's that story about Gaza and Hoddle and him telling him in a hotel room that he wasn't off to the World Cup, and just those you sort of want it like the old plaster, don't you, ripped off straight away when you're told.
Well, I actually never experienced Hope as a manager, like
Oh, no,
as
you
in
wouldn't
my
have
bit. No, she was the head of the women's team, and then she would come into like youth camps and like give speeches and tell us what we needed to do or what she was looking for players that wanted to make the next step up. I think for me it was like, it's Hope Powell. Like I was like, if I want to go where I think I want to go to, I need like to impress her. I don't need to be like be in a bad books. Definitely don't need that. So yeah, I just remember all the time, every time she came to camp or we had a meeting with her, I'd just be like, oh my God, please don't pick me out. Please don't pick me out.
I had a phone call off Hope when it was the Euros that was in Sweden, and this like I think there was me, Lucy Bronze, Jade, and Bonner. We were like the younger ones, and you just waited for a phone call. Because obviously, remember, before that, it used to be like letters through the door, basically, or like an
Yeah.
email. And this one was a, you'd be like sat there going, I forgot an email.
Has the postman been?
Yeah. This one was, she like was calling. Obviously, you just didn't know if you were in or out with her. And then she said the good news that I was going away with them, and I like and you're just like a massive child. I remember I like ran on all the sofas in the living room, and it was when I lived with like Steph Horton, Ellen. They weren't in the house. It was like complete. So if I'd have got bad news, at least I'd have just been like sad and alone for a minute. But yeah, I did get some good news from Hope, and that was a nice phone call. I was like, "But right, see you later, bye."
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks very much.
Thank you. Let's introduce our special guest, Hope Powell. Hey, actually, we should get her on.
That would be
Yeah.
amazing. That would be
She'd
really
have
good.
great stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, done. Tick.
When we were kids, though, there was a lot of pressure. Like, I don't know what the England youth age groups are like now, but there was a lot of pressure. Like, if you couldn't handle being told things you didn't want to hear, you wouldn't make it, because it was Keats. Do you not think it was quite brutal? It like you didn't. I'm not saying you were robots, but you were a little bit, weren't you? Like, it was very much quite strict, and yeah, I don't know how to explain it really.
Yeah.
You needed to be tough skinned.
Yeah, you did.
England
Thick
used
skinned for
to get
sure.
through.
Thick skin for sure. And I remember, you remember them Lucozade water bottles, or any water bottle, and you had to have it at all times in your arms
Yeah.
with water in. I'd be like, where's that bottle? Be taking someone else's bottles. Honestly,
What would happen if you didn't have the bottle?
Oh, they'd be like, how'd you stay hydrated if you don't have a bottle and all this? I'd be like, what? When you're a kid, you forget loads of things. But yeah, I used to be terrified to leave the bottle anyway. And then at one stage, I'd be just like, oh, I'm not overthinking this. Like, yeah, it was pretty strict, to be fair. Totally different now, I guess.
Yeah, I think it will be.
Is a little bit of that healthy? As in, are you?
Well, you definitely grew up faster and matured much quicker. I tell you that. Like, the responsibilities that, you had as a young player. I'll honestly say, okay, it might not have been the nicest thing at times, but I tell you what, I was so ready to go at 15, 16-year-old to go into a first team at Everton and hold my own. So they prepare me for that. I tell you that. So although we wasn't mollycoddled, and it's obviously a little bit, I think, a lot softer now, but I was definitely ready to compete, and I had the mindset that, going in there confident, which I don't think many young players have now coming into a first team.
Yeah, I wonder if it's changed as well, like whether the approach has to change in that respect. Like, you must look at some of the younger players that you're with now, and some of those ways just wouldn't work with them. They wouldn't respond to it in the same way.
Yeah, no. And I don't think back then they ever thought of the team as a group of individuals. It was the team. So everyone's doing the same thing at the same time. Do you know what I mean? But now, obviously, there's many different ways of communicating and getting people on board. But back then, they thought, what, one rule for all.
Resources change as well, don't they? So people learn different ways to coach, to get the best out of players too. I think I started off asking you about Bovril, and now we're talking about coaching with you. That's why you two are brilliant. That's why you're brilliant. Nikita and Jordan here, and you've got a new member of your fan club. By fan club and by member, I think it's sort of a self-help goalkeepers wasting time group. Did you see Renee Slegers' comments?
Oh, yes, I did.
She said that goalkeeper time wasting can harm the attractiveness of the WSL. So what are we going to do? Before I get your thoughts, I had a little chat with Izzy Christensen, who was doing the game with us at the weekend, and she said about a 30-second assessment time. So physio can come on, got 30 seconds to assess the keeper. They've either then got to go off the pitch, and you have, like you would do with a concussion sub, someone else come straight on, or they have to get up and get on with it. Or I'm all for, outfield, going in goal, and away you go.
Yeah.
What would you do, both of you? Is it an issue? Has it harmed the attractiveness of the WSL?
I would honestly agree with Renee Slegers. I think it's a tough one because it's almost like sometimes you want to get information on board and, you're 10 men, it's 11v10, you're trying to stay in the game. I get it. But then it's almost like it becomes stupid. The game just becomes a confrontation between the teams because the players react to go, oh, she's just time wasting, she's not even going off, there's nothing wrong with her. But there's like the referee's hands are tied. And I feel like I saw Arnie Slot's post match after Arsenal Liverpool, and when Martinelli pushes Conor Bradley off the pitch, and I also agree with him. I understand the frustration of players getting mad at certain moments. So like Conor Bradley was injured, he thinks he's time wasting trying to keep the 0-0, so he pushed him off the pitch. So that's his reaction. And we're gonna get them sort of incidences if we don't take control of people wasting time, like keepers. And can you really come on 30 seconds to assess the keeper when she has to stay on the pitch anyway? Because, like you said, you're not going to put a outfield player in goal. It's like, it does become annoying and frustrating for the other players, and it can cause incidents like Conor Bradley and Martinelli.
Yeah, I mean, it drives you mad to the point where you actually try and think of a solution. Like the goalkeeper going down, it's really hard to think of anything you can change about that. Bar, can we add on more time? And especially when they brought in this 8-second rule thing with like goalkeepers, I feel like obviously we don't want to just be handing out red cards, but you can see the change of if a team's 1-0 up, then all of a sudden they're 2-1 down, how slow they go get it from the back of the goal. Like, also this whole, like, we have balls around the pitch, but no one throws them back on the pitch. Don't really get that either. But, like, if a goalkeeper is slowing the game down for a goal kick, if you tell them once or twice, the third time has to be a booking. So I think things like that, you could, no one wants to be on a yellow card. It's risky. That's a game changer, really, for some people. That's where you target. If a fullback has a yellow card, you're like, right, hit long over there and make them make a challenge. So I do think that bit is a little bit confusing because they're adding in to try and speed up the game, but then I think they let things happen. That's my opinion on it. But the whole goalkeeper going down, I honestly can't think of a solution, bar I hope that they actually add on the right amount of time at the end of a game for it.
Yeah. I'll be interested to know how long the ball was in play in that game compared to a game where the time, like the goalkeeper's not going down every 30 seconds or minute, whatever. But then on the flip side to that, I will say I do understand why Man United
Yeah.
decided to make that tactical decision, let's say, because they're 0-0 at the Emirates and they're at 10 men, they're a man down. So that's not up to Man United to change how they want to play or how they want to win the game. That is up to the rules of the game to eradicate that. Because any team, I'll be honest, any team is going to bend the rules to their advantage as much as they can to get them 3 points. Because 3 points are so important, like we've talked about.
Well, we've all done it. We've all told the
yeah.
goalkeeper to go down. Like, it is.
I've done it from the stands.
It's a tactic, yeah.
You said before this podcast, Keats, that you've asked the keeper to go down. The only thing you've been upset with is just how ridiculous they were in the what, me? What? Oh, all right now.
Yeah, they couldn't even understand me. I'm like, go down, and they're just looking at me like, what? But I remember once we played a game against Lyon, Manchester City, and I was telling the keeper to stay down. We're in the Champions League, we're 1-1, stay down. Like these are some of the best talent in the world at the time. And I'm like, stay down, like, take 30 seconds. And Wendy Renard understood what I was saying. She went mad. I was like, whoa, chill. She was like, why are you telling the keeper to stay down? This is a football game. I was like, love, we're trying to win. Or I'm trying to stay in the game. I don't care. But honestly, you bend the rules as much as you can to get the 3 point or to stay in the game. It's just as simple as that.
Do you really want to pick a fight with Wendy Renard?
No, she is one player I will not. I was just like, I'm sorry, bye bye, running off.
Catch me. We like catch me if you can. She's the sort of player. If I was in the tunnel and I looked across and saw her, I'd be like, I think I pulled my hammy. I think I'm not going out today.
Yeah,
I always
she's a
used to see
great
her,
player.
and no disrespect to you as England players, but I used to see that she was lining up for France and think, we're not winning this today. Or when you'd hear the news that she was out, not that you'd wish injury on anyone, be like, because she just, at both ends of the pitch, just an absolute colossus. And
Yeah.
the way she heads a ball, there is no stopping it. Like from a corner, if she's, again, at either end, you're just...
What a legend.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
unbelievable.
What a
player.
legend. Yeah, she is a
Unbelievable.
legend.
You'd love her on your team. Just one of those players you'd absolutely want on the team. What would she like to be teammates with?
Unbelievable. Like, the best captain I've ever had. Just from, she could motivate you just by looking at you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know when someone just has an aura about them, you're just like, wow. And like so selfless, like just done everything for the team to make sure the team was good. And then when you needed it the most, delivers every single time. Like, unbelievable player to play with. Probably one of my best players to ever play with. But as a captain, she taught me so much. Like, as a leader, top draw. Top draw.
You know when they do that thing where they go, Jordan, and they say, "Oh, if we had 11 Wendy Renards, we'd walk this league." Or, I mean, I don't know whether it'd be true, but you might have them beaten before
I
you
don't
walked out
know.
the tunnel.
Yeah, I don't know. Wouldn't be far off. She's one of the best players in the world that's like been in the women's game easily. I think we spoke about in the podcast before where we don't understand how she's not probably won bigger awards because she's one of the best.
Well, she's now won everything in my estimation because she doesn't want goalkeepers to go down. So give her the FIFA Fair Play or whatever that award's called. Hang it around her neck right now. She should have them all. The only other thing, just briefly on this, I guess you could do is you could give both teams a couple of timeouts. I know it's time wasting, but when it's done for reorganisation, you know, when someone's just scored and you stick the keeper down just to try and sort stuff out. When you go down to 10 and the keeper goes down so you can work out how you're going to play. Would that work?
What an actual like timeout and everyone goes
no,
over.
Not the NFL. Not the NFL. I'm sorry.
Who the hell
No.
decides that?
All right, anyway, let's go on. That's a no then. That's a big fat no.
No.
Can we lastly talk about Earring Gate? I do want to briefly touch on transfers because there have been some brilliant ones, but Estelle Cascarino couldn't make her West Ham debut because she couldn't take her earring out. It was half-time in the Chelsea game. They want to bring her on. The game's delayed restarting because she's there and she's got this massive tape on her ear. There's talk that she played in the Champions League with it, that she's, you know, played before, but according to the rules, they're absolutely right, the officials, in what they did. Have you ever heard the like, you two?
Not where they can't actually get it out. You know, I've seen players go off with jewellery, but not where legit they don't get subbed on. Yeah, I can understand though that I do think some refs are probably letting that go and some refs maybe aren't. I definitely do think that, but gutted. I'd be gutted if my earring didn't come out and I couldn't step foot on that pitch.
Yeah, I'd be so disappointed. I think, but it's almost like what is the rules in Europe compared to in our league? It's very different. But in terms of not being able to make your debut based off an earring or not being able to get the earring out, yeah, that's frustrating. And it must have been frustrating for her, the team and manager. She'll obviously be gutted that she couldn't get a debut, but hopefully she'll get it this coming weekend and get the earring out in the week. Bless
You
her.
just know there's going to be a close-up on her ears, don't you? Like, the camera will pan to her ears. Exactly that. Do you still have to turn it? Like when you can't take it out for a week? Or is it longer than a week when you have your ears done? Do you remember? So it doesn't crust over. Like,
Can't remember. It was that long ago.
Yeah, a few hours, isn't it? You know, when you first get it done. I mean, I don't know a situation with her earring, but
you not ask the earring for comment.
no.
Well, anyway, it didn't happen. But when she does have a debut, they need her. They certainly need someone in defence at the moment to West Ham. And just what an opening game to the season for Rita. Right, transfers. Manchester City looking to finalise a deal for Sam Coffey. She was in the stands from Portland Thorns. Is that the title done and dusted? What a player. Balance they need? What do we think?
Is it the title done and dusted? No, I don't think so. Being honest. But Manchester City are going strong in the league. I think it's a great signing. But I think Manchester City actually have a good midfield also, like currently. I think they're obviously operating at a good level in terms of the midfield. The team itself is gelling and getting results and performing well. So it's a team that she's coming into that, she's competing for competition. It's not going to be easy, but obviously it's a great signing and, it just brings added depth for the league and the competition in the league.
One thing I think we've always said about City is when they have had a few injuries, they've not had that strength and depth. So I still don't think it's title won and dusted. Won and dusted?
Nice, George.
What's that saying?
Done and dusted.
Nice, George.
But if I win something, I'm getting the cleaner round. Don't worry.
Yeah. But I think that's been tough for them when that's happened in the past and them not had someone to replace players. So it's great to strengthen the squad like that. I think that's what they've probably needed the past few years.
Of course, someone else who knows what it's like to play for City in and around that area, Georgia Stanway. She said she's leaving Bayern Munich at the end of the season. Plenty of people thought she was going to Arsenal in January. If she does come back to the WSL, potentially if she comes back to Arsenal, Jordan, how key a signing could she be?
No, she'd be a great signing. Scores goals, obviously very experienced player. The only thing you'd question is they've got a lot of players in that position. So is it looking for someone's maybe leaving in the summer, or if not, it's the competition's going to be tough. I mean, Palova, Frida, Kim, Cooney Cross, Russo sometimes plays in that position. I feel like I've even missed people out.
Caldente.
Caldente, just that one.
Just Caldente.
Yeah, just Caldente. Like, that's the only thing I'd say about that. That's a lot of strength and depth, and then it's who you choosing to play in that lineup. So, but no, she's gonna add a lot of experience to any club she goes to.
For sure, and I feel like depending on what your club's ambitions are, if you want to compete on every front, then you're gonna have to find a way to rotate your squad. Like, it's okay having these big squads and bringing in these players, but it's also important that you give them a chance to be able to shine and give them opportunities. And it's very difficult when you've got a big squad, but then you need rotation.
And they do have some contracts expiring at the end of this year too, which I know Renee Slegers, that was kind of some of the thinking behind giving her the longer contract, is she's now got to work out what the future looks like for Arsenal too, and how you blend all of those together. Talking of Arsenal and midfield, because who can forget the time that Leah Williamson had a spell in midfield, but she likes playing at the back. But we have been talking to her this week, or at least Sky Sports' Antoine Toulouse has. He sat down with her to speak all things about Arsenal's year ahead.
You look at it it's still in 5 competitions, so I don't think I've ever said that before. So, on paper, it's not terrible. I think the league is where we probably, haven't enjoyed our best results, our best football. But I mean, the game's changing as well. So, you have to evolve within yourself, but for the standards of the WSL and how hard it is to win football games.
Do you feel like we're going to see a bit of a Arsenal 2.0 then in that case? So now Renee's locked in long term. You've got Jodie, who's obviously locked in as well in a new role. And then obviously you've got sort of changing personnel and that kind of thing. Does it feel like you're going to sort of see a new Arsenal, and you'll be sort of, I presume, at the heart of that?
I hope so. New Arsenal, with as much as, we're a very traditional club, and you don't want to lose the history and who we are and what we're about, and those things will always stay. So it's throughout the whole club, it runs through the DNA. But of course, I want to see, I want to feel like I'm part of something that's constantly evolving. And like I say, with the foundations and the stability that we have and the stadium that we play at and all of these circumstances just becoming better and better and more aligned on paper with consistency, I hope that you start to see that coming out of us. But I want to be part of a team that looks like they're unbeatable, and that can win any which way, and just exciting football. That's what people pay to come and watch.
Leah Williamson talking to Anton and with us on Pitch to Pod. Final thoughts on Arsenal, you two? I know Leah talks about them being in every competition still, but they're going to have to go some, aren't they, to the Champions League? Chelsea making that automatically through to the quarterfinals as well. They've got the bit between their teeth and just want to go on and win it now. It's tough again, right?
Yeah, you can't say they'll be happy with the season so far, although be it that they're still in every competition. In terms of the league, we're talking about the WSL, they will have wanted to pick up more points, get better results, better performances at times. But they're still in and around being able to still qualify for Champions League next year, still in the Champions League, as I said, and the other competitions. So they just have to keep grinding out results, keep focused on themselves. It's okay us, the outside of that group, making noise and trying to understand what's going on, but they just have to, stay focused from within. And Renee Slegers is a good coach. She's proved that. She won the Champions League last season. Let's not forget. It's off the back of winning a Champions League. Yeah, we had probably higher expectations of the squad based on that, but they're still doing well. They're still gelling, and there's so much more to come from that group of players. So I wouldn't be surprised if the second half of the season, they go from strength to strength. Would they want to got 3 points at home to Manchester United on the weekend? Yes. But that doesn't tell us what's coming next, I don't think.
Yeah, similar really. I think I don't doubt that they're not going to finish top 3 in the league, if I'm honest. I think the quality they have, I don't see that happening. I think they'll still get there. Obviously, it's been just some weird barrier with Arsenal not being able to win the league. That's obviously something when I played there, and it's still happening now. So I think that's obviously something they'll want to figure out. It's not that easy, is it? Football, the teams change, players change, all of that. But I think, like Keith said, winning the Champions League, I think you'd miss the last 4 seasons probably. I know that's not, you want to win it all, obviously, but I think to win the Champions League is such a milestone that you have forever now. So yeah, I think it'll just be like Keith said, just pushing on from there. But I don't see them not qualifying for Champions League.
Yeah, and just look at Chelsea and Sonia Bonpastor after that first season. She's had to tweak things. She's changing things, adapting things, and that's Renee's dealing with different things as well. Clearly, with Kyra Cooney-Cross, they've just found that balance as well in midfield with Kim, and then sadly all that's happening to her away from the pitch at the moment. Of course, send all our love to her and her family. These things happen and change, and dynamics change, and she's trying to find a different balance around it in all those competitions. Who would be a football manager, eh? Anyway, breaking news. You can usually take out any new earlobe earrings after 6 to 8 weeks, but cartilage piercings need 3 to 12 months, apparently. Have either of you got a cartilage piercing? Oh, when it goes through like the...
No.
No, can't say I have.
Anyway, that's it from Pitch to Pod to Earring this week. If you have a question for Nikita or Jordan, do get in touch. You can use the hashtag Pitch to Pod. Nikita's London City take on Sunderland 12:15 for that one. Jordan in action this weekend against West Ham. That's a 7:30 on a Friday, isn't it?
Yep, Friday night under the lights.
Oi, oi, oi.
Friday then. While I sing, this has been Pitch to Pod to Piercing. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.